For a good chunk of my adolescence, I wanted to work at a record store, but not just any record store. I wanted to work in the Del Mar Loop at Vintage Vinyl, an iconic local record store that's been owned locally for almost 36 years by Lou Prince and Papa Ray. Now, working at KSHE, I've gotten to get to know those guys a little bit better over the years, and I wanted to pay tribute to my favorite place to buy music in St. Louis. This is Vintage Vinyl.
You know how you change the world? You create the world you want. Tom and I, because we played music, we're very open to art and to the way artists approach problems, which is often from a point of view of feel it first, know it next. And we often approach business that way, which it turns out is not a particularly profitable way to do it.
I had reached the point, having already worked in retail as well as the wholesale end of the business in Manhattan in the 70s, that I realized the only way that I would want or be able to continue working in the music industry was to be my own boss. My business partner Lou Prince and I had decided we were going to open up a shop in St. Louis, and we had definite ideas about offering alternative titles. We had a definite idea about selling quality used LPs. When I saw what was in St. Louis, I felt pretty optimistic about making that thing come off.
I had always sort of played with the idea that we knew a way to run a record store that nobody would run a record store. And we thought there had to be a way for music lovers to have a record store for music lovers.
The Loop was always a destination, and this was like the magnet that drew me to the Loop. And music is just such an important part of everyone's lives, and especially before the internet, you had to go to a record store to get the music.
Music is one of the things that actually brings people together who otherwise wouldn't be together.
One of the things we've always tried to do is treat everyone the same. That a kid coming in here with $2 in his pocket looking for two $1 records will get the same care that some important collector from England who is looking for specific Stax numbers from the 60s and only wants the yellow label, you know? And that is the sort of essence of what we do.
Part of what it's done is make us be more proactive, because we've got to be able to differentiate ourselves and offer a value that's more than an algorithm on the computer. It's made us more of a social organism, not an organization.
One of the fun things owning a record store is you get to hire people who know more than you do. And they're all little experts in their area. That cultural and artistic literacy is a really important feature of a society. And it's a real important part of how we approach what we do.
future of vintage vinyl is going to be the next 16-year-old who walks in my store and has the kind of musical epiphany that I had. You know, the future of vintage vinyl is the 55-year-old person that comes in here and holds a piece of music that he hasn't seen in years, and he's going to reconnect to a moment in time when that was the greatest thing he had in his or her life. We all are in this, so to speak, together, all of us in St. Louis, and one of the very, very few things that bring people together is music.
The thing I love about vinyl is the imperfection of it, and that, like, you are going to get pops and crackles and occasionally a skip and stuff and that, but that's also life. Life isn't perfect. Why should music be absolutely perfect? And if you could have a musician who can play every note absolutely perfect, but then Keith Richards can try to play the same thing and mess up a couple notes, and I'll like his version better. It's got more soul in it, and it's more about life. Life's not perfect, and vinyl's not perfect.
Good afternoon.